Hey guys, before I dive into Generation 3's review, I just wanted to clarify some points about my reviews. So first I wanted to start off by explaining my review system, because I know it seems sort of arbitrary to just give overall scores to these games without any sort of context. And I just want to say that ratings really mean different things to everyone, so I just want to kind of make clear what these ratings mean for my game. So for me, an average game, completely average game, is a 5 out of 10. And I know that sounds kind of obvious, but some scores nowadays are really inflated, and so you'll have scores that are like 7 out of 10, okay, or like 8 out of 10 was pretty good. But that's not really how I grade my games. So when I do reviews and I give them an overall score, it's just sort of an aggregate of how I feel about the game. I usually try being as objective as possible, but that's pretty impossible. There's a lot of subjectivity involved. Um, and so if a game is good, I will increase its score up from 5. If a game detracts in some way from the experience, I will subtract from 5 and it'll get a score below 5. Games for me which get a 5 are pretty uncommon. Most games that I get are pretty good. I usually buy Nintendo games, and those are all usually pretty high quality. Some of my Xbox games aren't the best quality, but again, a lot of games are fun. Like it's very difficult to come across a bad game unless you're really trying. So for me, an average game would be like the FIFA series, which is enjoyable at times, but also really frustrating. So overall, it's pretty average. I would also say Animal Crossing City Folk falls into this, along with a lot of games on Steam. Also, some of you might be wondering about whether I'm going to include Fire Red, Leaf Green in Generation 1, Heart Gold and Soul Silver in Generation 2, and I think what's most appropriate is I just review those games sort of separately to their generation. But when I do review those games, they'll be a part of the generation in which they came out in. So for instance, I consider Fire Red and Leaf Green part of Generation 3, although obviously it's a Generation 1 themed game. Same with Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Came out on the DS, it was Generation 4 is when it came out, even though it's a Generation 2 themed game. So when I come around to Generation 3, I'll probably have a separate review system for Fire Red and Leaf Green. Same thing goes for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and eventually when I get to it, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Also, I will be doing separate reviews for the Pokemon Stadiums, the Pokemon Coliseum, XD Gale of Darkness, all those different type of games that aren't part of the main series, but they're really fun spin-offs. So again, they will be separate reviews. They won't be a part of the first generation for Pokemon Stadium 1, as you probably already can tell based off of the first generation review I have. Another point, I do not have every single generation of Pokemon. That's right. So even though I said out of a series, I'm rating games out of 6, I've actually not played X and Y yet. I don't have a 3DS, but I'll probably borrow the game from my friend in not too long and see if I can play it on his 3DS, because I actually still really want to play that series. I'm familiar with some of the Pokemon in that generation from playing other Pokemon games like Pokemon Reborn, but again, I haven't played X and Y, so even though I say out of 6 is how I grade these Pokemon games, it's really out of 5 until I can play X and Y. So yeah, I also haven't played Platinum either, so I won't be reviewing that. Okay, and that's pretty much all I wanted to say for now. Again, I just want to make a few points to clarify a few things, just for your convenience, so you can better understand these reviews when I put them out. Try not to focus too much on the scores. Try to focus more on like the points I make during the videos, because those are much more important than some number I put on the game. But either way, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you later. Also, another point I forgot. I'm actually going to try and do playthroughs as much as I can while I still can before I go back to school. So you might be able to expect those sooner rather than later.